Hello and a very warm welcome to the special. The Indian team missed yet another opportunity to win a test series on foreign soil, with this now being the fourth test that they have lost under coach Rahul Dravid. There are questions being asked in the wake of this loss on the defensive mindset one saw from the Indian team on the last 2 days of the Edgbaston test. Since Jasprit Bumrah was captaining the side for the first time, how much of the decision-making depended on coach Rahul Dravid, and whether he should be held accountable for the team's loss as much as the players themselves? That's the topic for today's discussion. I'm joined here by former India cricketer Ashok Malhotra to talk more about this. Also joining me from Edgbaston will be Santosh Suri. We're trying to get in touch with him, to connect with him. But let me go straight to Ashok sir. And now there will be obvious comparisons with Ravi Shastri. No doubt about it, 7 years of one style. The fact that under Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, this team did very well, especially overseas. Given that, and I know this is a short time, 7 to 8 months for Rahul Dravid, what is his style of coaching that you've been able to decipher so far, sir?
See, may I have one thing is, Rahul did the hard yards to become the coach. You know, before that it was the guys coming from the comp box into the Indian dressing room and coaching. But he did a great job. You know, you can't take it out of Ravi Shastri. He might be a bit cocky, he might be a bit arrogant, whatever it is, but he called the shot. He managed the team very well, and probably the captain, Virat and Ravi gelled very well. You know, the results for all of us to see the way they won against Australia without Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, and they won from nowhere. So they had that steel in them, which seems to be lacking now. I understand that Rahul has done the hard yards, he's done the coaching, but he's done coaching for India, where you done coaching for under-19s, where the kids don't say anything to you. They only nod their head, yes sir, no sir, and that's all they do. But here now you have to manage the superstars, and you have to plan a strategy, create a strategy. We can't blame Jasprit Bumrah. You know, Jasprit Bumrah was a rookie as a captain. He was doing what he was being told to. So he was not taking tough decisions. What I find difficult for Rahul Dravid is his struggles. He's trying to please everything. And he's very, very single-minded. This guy has been given a chance. Now we cannot change it. Whether the other guy is waiting in the wings is much better than him, or deserves to be there in the thing. So you have to take some tough decisions. That is where Ravi was spot on, and Rahul seems to be lacking.
The other thing being, sir, India have just announced their squad for the ODI series that they play against West Indies in Port of Spain. 3 ODIs. Captain, surprise, surprise for everybody, Shikhar Dhawan. He's the captain. Ravindra Jadeja is the vice captain. And from the time Rahul Dravid's taken over, there have been 7 to 8 captains so far. That's another problem, isn't it? I mean, one, the stability at the top. Whenever you're trying to visualize what you want for a team, it is a combined effort. We saw that with Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli. Here, Rohit Sharma, unfortunately, there have been, either injury, COVID, whatever, rest. He hasn't been there consistently, and yet again, we're finding ourselves in a position where players are getting rest at different times. But I don't know how that'll all work out, because at the end of the day, if you are not playing together, how can you play like a team? When you have to play in the World Cup?
Absolutely. The onus lies on the coach, because he has to get the team together. He has to manage all of them and try to make them have one good, fine unit, which Ravi Shastri did. There's no two ways about it. Ravi did a great job as a coach, mentor, whatever he was. But he did the right thing. He got all of them together. They gelled well under him, which seems to be lacking. And then, as you very rightly said, we were having 7 to 8 captains. Is he calling the shots? Is Rahul calling the shots, or is the selection committee calling the shots? I want to know that. For me, that's $1 million question. Because if Rahul is calling the shots, now you say Shikhar Dhawan is captain for an ODI side. is the same Shikhar Dhawan which has been told that there's no place for you in Indian team anymore by Rahul Dravid, none other than Rahul Dravid. So two wrongs don't make a right. And what gives the right to Rahul Dravid to tell the players? It is the job of the selection committee. It is the job of the coach. First he told Riddhiman Shah, you are not wanted anymore. Now he told Shikhar Dhawan. And he's not going after the big guys. He never told Ishant Sharma anything like that. At least publicly he never said. Privately he might have said, I would not know. But the fact that publicly he never said. But he publicized what he told Shikhar Dhawan and Riddhiman Shah. And Shikhar Dhawan was out of the reckoning. All of a sudden, he's the skipper of the side. So I really don't know which side the cookie is crumbling, what they really want to go.
Sure.
It is one step forward, two steps backwards. There seems to be a lot of confusion in the team, in the selection, in the management.
Okay, so Santosh Suri also joins us now from Southampton. Yes, the caravan with the Indian team for Santosh Suri has moved to Southampton for the white ball series. Santosh sir, if you can hear me now, just talking about Rahul Dravid and the fact that at home India had good results where we won against some of the weaker teams, and we know how India dominates at home. It's something that is known that India has done over so many years. But for Rahul Dravid to lose the South Africa series under him, India lost the South Africa series in South Africa, 3 test matches. One, India actually started with a win and then ended up losing 2 test matches. Then even in Edgbaston, we drew the test match in Kanpur, which everybody expected against New Zealand that it would be a clean sweep. So there are question marks there. There is sort of confusion in what brand of cricket they want to play at the moment. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'm saying, is there some kind of confusion on what brand of cricket they want to play, the clarity on it?
Actually, what happens is that we were planning to have Achhe Din in cricket, but apparently we'll have to wait a little while for them to come. And I think there are so many power points in our BCCI right now that we don't know who is taking what decision. There is a national selector, there is a head coach, there is, of course, the BCCI itself. Saurav Ganguly himself is former cricketer and the president. So there are so many power points here, and are they working in unison, or are they having a problem being in communication with each other? And that's why I think this problem is occurring, where the team should have had one blueprint to go forward. But apparently there are so many blueprints that are there now. That's why the confusion. Like you said, there have been X number of captains in last 1 year. The teams are, one player is playing in one series, he is not playing in the second series. In one format, he is rested. In the second format, he is not rested and he is brought in. And there is utter confusion in this. So probably we have to see what is going to happen with the team, whether it's probably too early to, just blame Rahul Dravid for this. There are many other partners in this. National selectors are there, the board itself is there, and it's not been a very long run for Dravid as such to be compared with, like Shastri had a very long run. So probably we'll have to wait and see what is actually going to happen by the time the World Cup in Australia is upon us.
Absolutely, and rightly said. I mean, we need to at least give him a year before we start judging him on the performances. But I think what I'm coming down to, Ashok sir, is yes, Rahul Dravid, the player, we love him. Rahul Dravid, the India A coach, under-19 coach, excellent, great mentor, director of cricket operations, NCA. All of that has worked wonderfully. He's been fantastic in that. But this is a completely different ball game. And why this gets very important in wanting to wait for the results is that there is a World Cup later this year. So are we then seeing this as an experiment from here on? Or are we looking at this World Cup as, okay, we've got to go out there and win it let's do it. Let's figure out how we can do it and go about it in unison?
Meha, I'm amazed still with whatever Rahul is doing. I know Santosh sir said, there are other things. I know he stopped short of saying the about the president and whatever. I don't know whether we can do it or it has to be diplomatically correct, whatever. But the fact is, Indian public is very, very impatient. You cannot keep losing. He's lost 4 test matches since he has come in. So which is maybe 4 test matches too many. So when Ravi was there, we were winning almost everything all over the world. The moment he has come in, we have started losing. There is something is missing, definitely. Whether he's not getting well with the selectors, I would not know. Whether he's not getting well with the president or the board, I would not know. But the fact is, team is not doing well. But the another thing is that 7-8 captain, how you justify? But now you should have shortlisted 15, 16, 17, 18 cricketers to play in the T20 World Cup. We don't seem to be doing that. We're going round and round in circles. We're trying everybody and anybody. Whosoever says, okay, Rahul Dravid is good, he is in the side. You say Sanju Samson is good, he's in the side, but you're not shortlisting the guy. So somewhere along the line, by now, you should be sure whether you want Virat Kohli there or not. You should be sure by now. You have to take those tough decisions. So that is what seems to be lacking. When you're the coach of an Indian team, it is a tough job. It's so you got to take some tough decisions. You can't be trying to please everybody and be okay, I'll pat your back, don't worry, I'll take you along. You can't do that. So you have to take some tough decisions. That is where Rahul is lacking. And as I said yesterday also, his honeymoon period seems to be over. People are now very, very impatient. They want results.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, no, and that's what you saw on social media, though. It's a small sample size, but you did see a lot of people on social media, asking that question as to where are we going with our cricket, because, under Rahul Dravid, it's not as the team does not play as consistently as well. So that is a big question. But the other question also is, the template itself. Yes, this is the template that India went with in terms of their personnel in 2021 in England. 4 quicks with Jadeja. Would you have wanted Rahul Dravid to, sort of figure out his own way, get Ravindra Jadeja, get Ravichandran Ashwin in, which we spoke about, do something differently? Ashok sir?
Yeah, it should have done. That is what I'm saying. You are only towing the line which Ravi is doing. So 4 quicks you can have. Then 4 quicks, why don't you go for Umran Malik? Why don't you go for a Prasidh Krishna, who are extra space? We know Shardul is not. And when there's a choice between Shardul and Ashwin, I'll pick any day Ashwin. I know Shardul has done well in whatever little games he's played, but he somehow does not seem to be an active bowler. He does not seem to be the bowler who can make an impact. We lost the game in a batsman because we could not check the flow of runs. Ashwin, if he wouldn't have picked up the wicket, he would have definitely checked the flow of runs. And maybe Jadeja and him would have bowled well in tandem. And over the wicket, I still can't understand how can you bowl over the wicket and check the flow of runs when the ball is not turning square. So these are few things which defies cricketing logic. I know he's a great, he's a legendary cricket. We all love him. We are very fond of him. But the results have to be given. You see, Kapil Dev was a coach. I was selected with Kapil and Sachin were coach and captain. We thought it's a match made in heaven, but it didn't, and he lasted only a couple of seasons. So it's a very, very short memory. Believe you me, as of now, we all are going gaga over Rahul Dravid. He can do this. He has done that in under 19 India. That is all past. Now you are in the big league. You've got to give results. Because people are very, very impatient. Even the board will be very, very impatient. They might like him a lot, but God forbid, if we lose T20 cricket, I don't know where Rahul Dravid will go and hide.
The other scary thing that now we can see in the last couple of months has also been a stable captain. We've been talking about it. How are we seeing this in the coming months, Santosh sir? You know, with Virat Kohli, there was one thing for certain, that he was going to be a captain in all three formats. He was going to be there unless he decides to take rest. He was the first name on that team sheet. And so you had that stability with your captaincy. Right now, that's missing.
Absolutely, you are right. We have got so many multiple captains for multiple formats that right now we don't know in which direction the team is going. And that is the biggest hassle for the, looking forward to the World Cup. Also, we don't know ultimately who will be there, whether they'll be sticking with Rohit Sharma, and test matches you are going to have Rohit Sharma. Or so not only the personnel like Kohli, Sharma and Cheteshwar Pujara himself, who are, now bordering mid-30s.
Yeah.
So are we going to replace them? And is Rohit Sharma your captain for next 2-3 years, or it is a stopgap? And you are trying so many multiple captains, that whom do you pinpoint right now here that yes, this is the person we are aiming to, make him the captain for next 4-5 years? Is it Pant? Is it Shreyas? Is it don't know who all they can? Rahul himself is in and out, and he has led one and lost the match. So there are a lot of problems where despite having planning to go ahead with checking out so many players, I don't know in the end if it will serve purpose of Indian cricket. Probably these are the very turmoil times for Indian cricket, and I think for that we'll have to wait a little to see how things settle down after the World Cup.
Absolutely. It's a team in transition. Yes, Ashok, so you wanted to come in?
Yes, sir, definitely. I mean, as I said, we are very unforgiving nation. You know, old time it was Indian team goes abroad, loses it, it's a part of the game. If you draw, you have almost won a match. But now they're very unforgiving. We are number one side in the world. You want results. You want positive results. And Santosh sir said World Cup. I think World Cup is too far away. He has to give results before that. And I don't know why they're waiting. Why can't they have Hardik Pandya as white ball captain? We all know he's probably the best captain we have. I'm hitting the nail on the head. If Shikhar Dhawan is not in your scheme of things, why would he be made the captain? If Ravindra Jadeja, you shortlisted him, so make him the captain. But, and then Rahul is saying, I'm having different captains. Why are you allowing them to have different captains? Why don't you go for 2 or 3 captains? And Rohit Sharma, I think captaincy is not suiting him. You see, captaincy seems to be jinxed for him. He's either injured or COVID affected or something goes wrong with him. Since he's become a captain, he's struggling. So now we don't know whether you're taking Virat Kohli for World Cup, whether Rohit Sharma is going for World Cup, who is going to open in the World Cup, who are going to be your fast bowlers for the World Cup, because Shami is also a big question mark over him. So I'm as confused as anybody else, and I don't know who is calling the shots. I just want to find out, is it Rahul Dravid? Is it the selection committee? Who is calling the shots?
The other thing is that whenever they announce a squad, I don't know why our chairman of selectors refuses to give a press conference. Why can we not have a press conference where all these questions are put forth to him and he can clarify, he can tell you exactly why they've gone for a particular player, why they've chosen Shikhar Dhawan back as a captain in ODIs, why they've come back a full circle after having tried and tested everybody else, with Shikhar Dhawan completely out of your white ball plans, at least T20Is, yes, completely. ODIs now, why have you made him the captain? Are you expecting him to be there in the 2023 ODI World Cup? Is that how far you're looking at Shikhar Dhawan as the captain? What are you trying to do? And I agree with you. Yes.
Meha, supposing Shikhar Dhawan had a great series investment.
Yeah.
Then what will you do?
Then what will you do?
Did you chuck him out? For what reason? Yeah. You have Shubman Gill, who does not score runs even in domestic cricket. He didn't score runs even for Punjab in domestic cricket. He didn't score runs in West, but he is still in the one-day team because there's different yardsticks for different people. Yeah. So this is the reason. Because at least with Ravi Shastri, we knew this guy is good. I'll stick with him. But now you don't know. Every time it's a different guy, a different captain, a different team. So there are probably hundreds of Indian players now roaming around in India. Yeah. So you don't know who is a real Indian player.
Also, some of the decisions in matches that we've seen, you know, the one that comes to my mind, Santosh sir, is the one in Delhi, that T20 international that India played against South Africa, and I was there at that match, and one of the things that we found so surprising is that Yuzvendra Chahal, who's been bowling beautifully, does not get full quota of overs. Now, I agree that Rishabh Pant was the captain at that time, and this is one instance. We've seen so many of these instances in last few months where you're wondering what is going on. Can a message not be sent to Rishabh Pant that, look, here is a purple cap holder from the IPL who's been bowling beautifully, why aren't you letting him finish your full quota of overs? Similarly, why would you not tell Jasprit Bumrah to start with the ball, get the first over in on day 5 of the Edgbaston test? And there are so many of these instances where you're wondering what seems to be going on. There is no clarity. Santosh sir?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why you need a strong coach. You know, even with different captains that are being changed series by series, there should be a continuity. And the responsibility for that, I presume, is on the coach. If a coach is a strong person who has a, you know, vision for, say, another next 2-3 years for Indian cricket, then he can influence the captain and tell him that these are the main players, these are the main players we have, you know, earmarked for the World Cup, and these are the main players you have to encourage and get them to bowl or bat at that particular juncture or a position, and then only we can go forward. It can't be haphazard manner like you are saying that Pant did not bowl Chahal for his quota of overs. So that way, the continuity, if the captain, you know, on his own, if he starts thinking and planning match by match, then you are not going to have any continuity. And I presume if we continue like this, like Ashok Shah said, that by the time World Cup comes, we don't know what will be the situation, whether Shikhar Dhawan will be made captain, whether he'll be in the 11 itself, or what can be done when next year the 23 World Cup is played in India. Before that, of course, we have to. Before that, of course, we have to plan for the T20 World Cup in Australia in the coming winter.
Absolutely. Why do I get a sense, why do I get a feeling that with Rahul Dravid, it's slightly different in terms of giving you his opinion? I think he'd give a few opinions but leave it on the captain to make a decision. And then somehow I feel with the likes of Rishabh Pant, Jasprit Bumrah, possibly in this Edgbaston test, we obviously don't know what went down, but him being able to take that decision, I don't know. Maybe that's the difference with Ravi Shastri, who is very strong in giving his opinion. And, you know, if you take it, you take it. Otherwise, whatever. Yes, quickly, sir. Running out of time.
Meha, you know, like Santosh said, you have to have a strong coach. Rahul was never a strong captain. The moment going got tough, he bailed himself out. He resigned as a captain. So how can you expect him to be tough? You know, he was a good captain. He was giving good recalls, but probably team was not behind him. You get your team behind you. You can't just bail yourself out. You're the leader of the pack. And same now. You can't bail yourself out. You might see tomorrow he might resign as a coach. You never know. You know, because if things get tough, I don't see him staying here for long. Then, but the fact is that Santosh is saying World Cup is going to be the last nail, if I may say.
Yes.
Because if you don't win the World Cup, you don't do well in the World Cup, then I don't think anybody is going to forgive Rahul Dravid. Whatever his track record as a cricketer is, whatever his track record as an under-19 coach or India A coach is, that goes out of the window.
Sure. Okay, time to wrap this up. But like Ravi Shastri said, if you get the job of being the coach of the Indian team, you've got to develop thick skin very fast. And hopefully Rahul Dravid does that too, because he will be under the scanner. He will be under the spotlight for as long as he's holding that position. It is a thankless job. Again, as Ravi Shastri had put earlier, he said this is a thankless job, a rewarding one, but I still feel it's a thankless job. There will be constant scrutiny, constant criticism, even if you put one foot wrong. Thank you so much, Santosh Suri and Ashok Malhotra, for joining us here. Early days again for Rahul Dravid. We're not going to be harsh on just saying that, okay, yes, the honeymoon period may be over, but still, you know, there is some time to go before we can actually be able to judge Rahul Dravid as the coach of this side. Give him at least a year before we can start judging him. But that's it then on this special. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest from the world of sports. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.